It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and I am with my crew in Pasadena doing phase 4 installation work, but we're also doing maintenance on this installation that we put in about a year and a half ago. It has run amok a bit, which, it's been a year and a half. So I wanted to show you over here where I cleaned up, basically just pulled out all the eucalyptus leaves and all the detritus and, fluffed up the rocks, and just how pretty this looks and how beautifully it's all knit together. We have Crassula ovata, we have Sedum praltum, and we have Crassula undulata on repeat. I've broken up with some boulders. I've got, some little sedum-y, grapta, sedum-y kind of stuff here for softness, but I made a boo-boo. I put in this cotyledon. Ick, this is not good. So I'm just going to take this out, and then I can cut off the tops, and I can use those in other places in the garden. But it's so run-amucky that I don't want to use this plant here anymore. Oh gosh, look at that. This is why Laura does not love trees in the vicinity of my succulents. And we got some blue elf in here that I'm not feeling either, so that's something else that we can rehome somewhere else. And now, what has in effect happened now is I've created something of a wound, haven't I? Well, I can take, if I don't want to put a plant back in that spot, I can just put a boulder in here instead. When you're feeling a little overwhelmed when you're doing a design and you think, oh no, I just don't know what to plant next, think about maybe pulling in a boulder or a rock. It really is like the period at the end of a sentence. I love this here, but I need to move this echeveria and shove this rock back and angle it a little differently. So I had to stop the video because I needed a minute to figure out my placement on this rock. When I moved the plant out, it opened up a lot of questions. Example, this was a year and a half ago, a black 3/4 inch rock ribbon. And turns out after a year and a half of gardeners and blowers and this and that, the ribbon's just not real sustainable. So what I'm doing is I'm just mixing this rock together to create now more of a checkerboard kind of a look. Also, there's that echeveria that I wanted to place. And I don't want to dig a hole. You know how lazy I am. So I'm just going to cut this trunk and roots. And I'm going to work with this as a cutting. So, you can mess around. You can, use your multi-tool, scratch it in, decide, do I like that? Do I not like that? I don't know if I like that. Let me try it over here. Yeah, I like that better. So, as we're going, you're working in real time. You do not necessarily need to have this whole concept lined out before you start. Get into the flow and work in real time as things come to you and trust the process. Also, in retrospect, would I have used Sedum praltum in this bed? And the answer is no. It's, if I were here and doing this maintenance every quarter or, even every 6 months, yeah, because it'd be easy to maintain. But I'm only here once a year and a half, and this is way too run-amucky. Gardeners wouldn't have a clue how to handle this. So I'm going to take a couple of approaches. I'm going to trim this back the traditional way first because it's a huge plant and it's running everywhere. So I just need to see what's happening and what I'm exposing, and then decide, do I want to dig this thing all the way out and cut off the roots and reset it, or do I maybe want to take a different approach with this? What would happen if I just cut it back the traditional way? Would it, would the rest of these plants cover up my cuts so that it wouldn't look bad? We're going to find out. So maybe cut from the back where you can't, I can't see where I cut. I can't see that at all. And remember, it's going to regenerate all on its own. From those cuts, new branches will form. The reason why I don't always do it that way is I don't want to look at that ugly plant. But if you can cut from the back and you can't see the ugly, then why the heck not? So, as you can see, I've got a ways to go. But this is so much fun to trust the process and to take things one step at a time and see what's revealed and then find the solution. This has been Laura Eubanks reporting from Pasadena, California with your succulent tip of the day.